हम लोग we were an oral culture, we still are. हम उसकी fragments आज भी देखते हैं, जहाँ पे in some way the spoken word is far more valuable and far more common on the Indian street, in the Indian household, on the Indian TV screen than the written word. ठीक है? If we think about the written word, I can think of 3 examples: the Indian Constitution, the Indian religious texts, and the Indian school books. That's about it. But they're almost delegated to the space of ये लिखित पढ़त बात है. ज़्यादातर बातें हम orally करते हैं. So I think, and no knowledge whatsoever, complete hunch. But the fact that we spoke a lot just made us natural at communicating ideas. And if we were to take an example and establish a piece of alternate history, let's say the idea of Nalanda was superimposed over all of India in that erstwhile time. So what you have is a country of people constantly in conversation with each other orally. So that allows for, जब भी तुम कुछ बात transmit करते हो, right? What you do with language is, in your head you have this picture of what you want to communicate. But जब तुम बोलना शुरू करते हो, right, immediately you have all these filters. Does this fit the box of logic? Can I say this abstractly? All of that. So it
context,
right? The context. Maybe it just made us natural communicators. That's why we're good at like explaining concepts. उससे उसका फिर trope निकल आता है कि Indians are good technically, but I just think that we're good orally. We do this all the time throughout. And I don't know if you see this now as an Indian living abroad, but it is the most common thing. The one thing that Indians will stop everything else for is oral communication above all else. I don't know.
Bro, I mean, I love that, bro. I love that. It's such a great example. And it's I also love that is somewhat the theme of your channel. Right?
Ironically, by chance.
Yeah, but bro, that's actually has me very, very bullish about content creators. I mean, it's so crazy that we've somehow come here. But when I think about, let's say, Indians making it to a global stage, tech is one way. Right? Which is, back in 2008, you had Redbus in Bangalore. So one of sort of the first big exits in the startup scene.
Sure.
The people who made money through that angel invested on other startups. And you had Flipkart, Swiggy, these big startups. And today, the reason Bangalore is a tech hub, is because there's all these success stories of startups. It infuses more capital into the ecosystem. And people now want to take more bets, more risks.
Right.
They now have the money. So that's it moving. But I think a parallel kind of movement is happening, not in a physical place, but on the internet, where a lot of young Indians are building that audience. So back in the startup days, we'll be building your active users. Right? You build an app and you get users.
Right.
Today, without that code limitation, which honestly, dude, everybody should code, maybe, but I don't want to impose that on anyone. Natural conversation is such, it comes so naturally to most people. Right. So I think the fact that more people are doing YouTube channels, podcasts, it's a way of building leverage. Right. In the same way that you could build technological leverage, you're now building, I would say, ideological leverage.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. मैं तो इसको एक स्टेप आगे भी लेके जाऊं, जो मैंने वो ओरल स्टोरी टेलिंग वाली बात बोली थी. This is a naggy thing about Indians, जिसको हम एक दूसरे को बोलते हैं या हम पिक्चरों में दिखाते हैं. But if you look at how seamlessly we are able to give advice, irrespective of my social status, whether I am a stranger on the street or your cousin, ठीक है, it is almost the embodiment of being an Indian कि तुम advice देते हो. सुन ऐसा कर ले, सुन ये कर ले. Your instinct is to either tell stories that have half magical reality, half fact, or to give advice. So, which is why, say, if we go back to the whole idea of like, fusing together gods with tech, तो वो आ जाएगा हमें आराम से, क्योंकि हम कहानी तो सुनाई देते हैं. लोग 7-7 8 दिन बैठ के they listen to the Bhagavad Gita on audio ताकि वो समझ पाए. And the other thing is, अगर तुम किसी पूछो भाई साहब मैं क्या करूं, तुम पहले ये करो, तुम पहले ये करो, तुम पहले ये करो. Everyone has an answer for those things. And
Yeah.
इस वजह से I think it just is natural for us to maybe not have the same limitations जो Americans को, Europeans को होंगी लोगों को ज्ञान चोदने में. You know, let's just say that.
Yeah.
क्योंकि हमारे शहर के अंदर, हमारे स्टेट्स के अंदर वो इतना ज्यादा कॉमन है.
Yeah.
Unsolicited advice is an Indian way. Sorry.
And maybe it comes down to the individualistic nature also. Right? I think maybe one of the reasons the rest of the world, let's just say Europeans, Americans, don't give advice is because it's an individualistic thing. It's just like, yeah, what works for you works for you. What works for me works for me.